Judges should have a thorough knowledge, and this is extremely important. You remember that we said that the Prophet ﷺ told us that there are three types of judges, and by the way, these three types are not percentage wise, so 33%, 33%, and 33%. No, it is classification wise. So you could have 1 out of 100 who's a good, righteous judge, and 99 who are in hell. So those who do not have knowledge, those who do not possess the necessary knowledge to work as judges, they are in big trouble. And I always tell those who opt to study law, and I've seen some of my own relatives doing this, and I gave them the warning that you cannot study law without mastering the Islamic Sharia law. And unfortunately, in most countries, Islamic countries, there is this clear segregation where people study the French law, the British law, American law, commercial law, the administrative law, without mastering the Islamic law. And this causes a lot of confusion, especially to young Muslim students. And this is why the fatwa from the major great scholars of our times is that it is not permissible to study law unless you can master the Islamic Sharia law. After that, yes, you can study British law, French law, and you will find that most of it is based on Islamic law. But there are aspects that you have to be really careful when studying if you are not qualified in the Islamic law, because this would cast doubts on your own Islam. And you don't want to go there. You don't want to have issues with your own religion simply because you're ignorant. So a Muslim judge must have thorough knowledge of what? Of the Quran, of the Sunnah. He has to be well versed in all aspects of the Islamic faith. He has to be able to distinguish what is right and what is wrong. And he has to be keen to maintain justice. So it's not only the knowledge you have, it's the person you are. Imam al-Shafi'i, and we know that Imam al-Shafi'i is among the first to write in fiqh, and specifically in usul al-fiqh, in his great book al-Risala, which is considered to be the benchmark on fundamentals of fiqh. So he clearly stated that this judge has to be of a certain scholarly level that allows him to do ijtihad, and he has to have sound knowledge in the Quran, in the things that were abrogated or not. He has to have knowledge in tafsir, in hadith, the authenticity of hadiths from weakness. These give him the outline verdicts and rulings. He should have knowledge of his predecessors' opinions over similar verdicts and different cases where the scholars agreed upon on a specific issue, where they differed and disagreed. And he has to be well versed in Arabic language and in analogy or al-qiyas. So in a nutshell, a Muslim judge should be highly qualified individual. Unfortunately, nowadays there is this tendency to downplay the importance of Sharia law. So the vast majority of judges we see, they may look practicing and righteous, but their knowledge is based on not ijtihad, rather than to follow and mimic and imitate previous cases that were precedents. And this is how they work nowadays in courts of law. There is Anderson versus Johnson case in 1994. So this was a precedent, and the judge takes the same rulings of this case that came before him, not based on the Quran or the Sunnah or his own ijtihad, which is strongly founded on Sharia law. And this is a problem, because now people don't solve their arbitrations through Islamic Sharia rather than previous cases, using analogy not in the Quran and the Sunnah but in different previous cases. And this is totally wrong and not true.